It's all about youth expressing their views on all matters lit. That is, issues that matter to us.
Youth Xpress!
Exploring issues that affect the young people of our region.
Youth Xpress!
Hi guys, we're back with another episode of Youth Xpress. In this series featuring young people in business across the region, we introduce you to two more young business owners. Stay with us, we'll be right back after the break.
Hey, there is something you need to do. Go to the Google Play Store and download the Smart Finance app. Yes, it's the Smart Finance app. Just type Smart Finance app in the search area, but make sure to type the $ for the S in Smart, and you will find it. It's a bright yellow and green bulb with a $ in the center. This app is useful and provides lots of information about savings, budgeting, investing, and other financial matters. So be smart and download the Smart Finance app today.
Welcome back to Youth Xpress. This week we will be chatting with Toni Fenton and Sebastian Stiel. Guys, welcome to Youth Xpress.
Thank you for having me on the show, and yes, sorry.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so we want to hear all about what you are doing. You're both 16 years old. Toni, you're from Montserrat, and Sebastian from Grenada. Let's start with you, Sebastian. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I was doing farming. I'm a poultry farmer, and I grow crops on small scale as well. I started when I was 8 years old. I started off in the 4-H group in my school. And I started rearing chicken. My sister had a pen, and I always took the interest in rearing chickens. So I will go to the pen and I will help her with the chickens until she went to secondary school and I took over the chickens.
Toni, let's hear about you.
I'm a very, you could say, active but not so active person. I enjoy playing football, cooking, and I like to be involved in different activities. My business, iBlender, it was, you could say, off of media, I got the idea. When I was overseas in Canada one summer, I saw this company in Toronto, and they make smoothies. And I got the idea, wonder how it would be if I made smoothies in Montserrat. So I did my research, got all the information, put them together, and there was a pitching competition. I put together a PowerPoint. You could say I had to speak off of my head to the judges, and I won the junior category. So I got to register my business. I got to open it, launch it. They paid for some of for my financial forecast. They helped with it. And from there, you could say iBlender was a success.
Okay. Sebastian, maybe you can finish your story. You started when you were 8 years old? That young?
Yeah, I started when I was 8 years old. When I go in the 4-H group in my school. And then when I was 10 years old, I built my own pen on my own, which I had 24 chickens. And now at this date, I have 90 chickens. And I'm going to plan on opening a vegetable shop and a meat shop, which my grandfather left for me. So I'm going to do some renovation on the shop and open a meat and vegetable stall. And the name of my business is Triple S Farm.
How did you come up with that name?
There was a funding. He had a funding, and in order to get that funding, we needed 3 persons to be part of that group. So which I took me, my dad, and my sister, which are all our names start with S. So we come up with the idea of Triple S.
Oh, great. So, are your family of farmers?
No, not really, but they do help me. I come up with the idea of taking farming further. They plant little kitchen garden here and there, but I decided to plant and sell.
So, you said you got your start by joining the 4-H group.
Yeah, but they did give me a pig. A pig I received from the 4-H, and then I had 4 pigs. I read 4 pigs to this date, and I read it under trees. And right now I'm in the process of building a pig pen to accommodate that 3 pigs that is under the trees.
All right. So, are you both in school?
Yes, I attend the Bishop College. Yes,
I
Carriacou.
attend the Montserrat Secondary School. I'm in 5th form.
I'm also in 5th form.
Okay. Wow. 5th form. So that means you're preparing for exams at this point. How do you manage business and books?
Well, normally the more I do my business is on weekends and holidays, and I more do like order. So based on my chickens and my pork, I kill based on order and I deliver. So I don't really kill on a day and go out on the road and sell. So you order for a certain amount, I kill it and I bring it for you. So in that way, I balance school and I balance the garden and the farming.
I usually open during holidays. I don't. If you catch me during the week, it would be like half term. We just came out of half term, but I didn't open this half term.
How would you describe the feeling to be operating your business while you're still in school?
It's exciting because I have another stepping stone that I can rely on. I have education and I have my business that I can rely on in the future. So education can be my key in the future, and I also have my business to rely on. So I could say excited yet relieved.
When I go to school, people will ask me, the teachers will ask me, how is the farm going? How is the garden going? Those kind of things. And I feel good to know that I'm in school and I have my own business running. So normally some of the subjects like POB and those stuff they tend to ask me more question on my business particular. So it's a good feeling.
What about the way your friends relate to you? Do they look up to you like my classmate is a businessman, or Tony, my friend is a business owner? How do they relate to you?
My friends, it's funny. I have the new nickname. Like people who don't know me, you could say iBlender was my exposure to a social status in Montserrat as well. Because before, a lot of people knew me, but when iBlender came out, even more people began speaking to me. And there's this new nickname I have now. People call me iBlender when they don't know my name. So in school, my friends would come up to me and say, Toni, me want one smoothie in dialect. Because at school we speak broken English. So they would say, Toni, me want one smoothie. iBlender, make one smoothie for me. Some teachers sometimes they would say, Toni, so when you going to come to class and demonstrate how to make a smoothie for us? Yeah. So it's very funny at times.
Okay. And so you're a celebrity in Montserrat?
Yes, you can say. Because well, also when I was smaller, I tried dipping my foot into the calypso waters. That didn't go that didn't go as well as planned. So I moved on, and I could say iBlender was a better exposure. And I even have some of my friends. Some of my friends are employees, or yes, employees in iBlender, and we brainstorm ideas and come together. Yes.
Okay.
My experience with my friends, I say when I do the advertisement for the GUT Credit Union, which is on the Osprey, when I just did it, everybody would be like, "Was you I see on Osprey?" And they will be like, I come in for some corn later because that time I picked corn in the garden for the advertisement for GUT. And they was like, I come in for corn, and them teachers used to ask me, "You have any more corn in the garden?" People used to ask me where I planting. And them students in school, they do look up to me. So that then, because they know I'm into business, they will have a respect and so forth for me.
Okay. Great experiences, but I want to know, as young business operators, right? How was it getting off the ground once you got the idea? How was it starting?
When I was starting, I want to say like I'm happy that I had my auntie and my grandmother, my father there. They guided me throughout most of the starting of the business. At first, I knew nothing about getting my records. First, I used to just want to make smoothies, sell, and then carry home the money. But then my father, my family explained to me that I needed to keep records in case that in future, if I start making a defined set of money and I have to start paying taxes, I need to have my taxes, my records to fall back on. So they taught me the basics. They taught me that I mustn't buy too many products because I don't know if I'm going to sell all that in 1 week. So they taught me the basics. So at first it was terrifying, but now you can say I'm still learning. I'm still learning with the records, the buying, the bulk of the product. But I'll get there soon. I'll get
Starting out was a bit easy and challenging at the same time because at that time I had the help from my mom. So she taught me record keeping and all those things. And my dad helped me in the garden when time for killing and so forth. So it wasn't that hard, but it was a bit challenging as well.
What do you find most challenging about being a business owner?
keeping the same customers every time. Like every day you open, you say I had a good business day today. So tomorrow I'll come with the mindset that I hope I have the same rush hours I had the day before. So I'd come with extra products and time and energy to make sure that I can be I can keep up to levels with the hours I had the day before. Sometimes it's not always the same waves every day. So one day it could be heavy, another day it could be light. And the third day you never know, some maybe one or two customers, but it's the variations of customers every day. That's my only issue.
The most challenging part for the crop part is planting on a large scale and then not getting the out of the crop pests and those kind of stuff affect the crop. So in that way, I lose out on the market of the crop. Sometimes you lose customers as well because sometimes you're supposed to supply them with something, they didn't get it. And sometimes they find a new customer and they're getting it for a better price from the new customer. So they tend to stay with that new customer. So that is some of the challenges I have. And also with water, the water storage is very poor. So when I plant, I depend on the rain. If the rain don't fall, the plant don't grow.
You already know the challenges of being a farmer. So we've talked about the challenges. What do you find most rewarding about being a young business owner?
Basically like the pat on your back at the end of the day because you can say you're like a spotlight for your country. Your country could be proud of you because you're giving other countries or islands exposure towards your country. When, say if they read articles about you online, they see that this island has a wide variety or a number of youth entrepreneurs. Right now, you could say Montserrat is it's becoming vast with youth entrepreneurs, some with clothing lines, some with cake businesses, some with cooking businesses, and some with smoothies like I'm. So you could say what I find rewarding is that I'm giving my country exposure.
Well, for me, I must say that I am the youngest farmer in Grenada. I received an award in 2017 for the youngest farmer in the state of Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique. So in that way, I am someone to look at in the community, in the country as an upcoming farmer.
Okay, what advice would you give to young people who are thinking, I have a good idea, but I think I'm too young or business is not for me, I'm afraid. What advice would you give to young people in this regard?
You're not too young to do anything. Once you put your mind to it and you think you have a solid reason why you should have this business, you should try to put it to reality. Speak to your parents or speak to a friend or an adult who helps you. Speak to them and try to make this business a reality because in the end, I'm sure it will become a success and you'll be very proud. So yes.
To the young people that want to go into business, you have to choose the best business that suits you in your community, because you don't want to go into a business that is already you already have more than one business at more than one of that type of business in your community. So you have to choose wisely, and you have to know if you could balance the type of business you enter into with school. So in that way, you have to know the type of business and how you're going to manage that business.
Good advice. So tell us, what's next for iBlend and Triple S?
For iBlender, I want to try to expand my menu. As I said, with the nutritional bars, I want to try doing acai bowls or smoothie bowls. I want to start, I would also like to start doing cold pressed juices. I would also like to try to make smoothies that can, say, be refrigerated. I could sell them in local supermarkets. So if in the future I'm busy with school, I could make a batch, label them off, serialize them, and send them to the stores. And I would also want to try to send them around the Caribbean. Everyone have a taste of life.
In the process now, we are planning on opening a vegetable and meat shop in which you can come any time of the day and get vegetables and meat of different cuts. I'm working on getting a saw for give the different cuts of meat, and I am doing some renovation on the shop to open the vegetable and meat shop. So I can have meat and vegetable, which I am the only one in around in the village. I could say the second or the third to be not for vegetable part, for the meat part, the local meat, local cuts and the special cuts. I'm the only one in Carriacou on the island of Grenada.
So Sebastian Stiel, Triple S, young business owner, doing his thing in Grenada, and Toni Fenton, young entrepreneur in Montserrat with iBlender, doing her thing there. And we will definitely look forward to hearing more from you in the future with your two brands. Thank you very much for chatting with us on Youth Express, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. It
Thank,
was a pleasure having you speak to me, and I was glad that I was invited on this show.
thank you very much for inviting me. It was a pleasure having having me here.
Okay, all the best, guys. Bye.
Yes, bye.
We've come to the end of Youth Express. Thank you for watching. We encourage you to support our young entrepreneurs. And remember to join us next time as we continue to feature young people in business across the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union.
Youth Xpress.
It's all about youth expressing their views on all matters lit. That is, issues that matter to us.
Youth Xpress.
Exploring issues that affect the young people of our region.
Youth Xpress.